Are you one of those people who wake up 1, 2, sometimes even 3 times a night to urinate? If so, stay tuned until the end, because what you're about to discover today could literally transform your sleep and therefore your health. I'm Dr. Hillman, and I want to explain something that many people don't know. Many think that getting up several times a night to urinate is part of normal aging, but no, it's not inevitable. It's actually a warning sign that your body is trying to send you. The medical term is nocturia, when you wake up more than once during the night to urinate. And believe me, this seemingly harmless inconvenience has profound consequences on your sleep, your energy, and even your heart. Because each awakening interrupts your deep sleep cycle, the one where your body regenerates its cells, produces essential hormones like melatonin and GH, and cleanses your brain of toxins accumulated during the day. And when these cycles are interrupted, your entire metabolism gets out of whack. A Japanese study conducted on more than 1,200 participants over 60 years old showed that people who got up 2 or more times a night had a 40% higher risk of daytime sleepiness, chronic fatigue, and mild cognitive impairment. That's far from insignificant. But that's not all. When you get up at night half asleep, you also increase the risk of falling, especially among seniors. And a simple fall can have terrible consequences: a hip fracture, a wrist fracture, or even loss of autonomy. And all this simply because your body can no longer regulate your urine production. So, why does this happen? Well, when we are young, our brain produces a magical hormone, vasopressin. It acts like a brake during the night. It reduces urine production so that your bladder can hold out until morning. But with age, the natural production of this hormone decreases. As a result, the kidneys continue to produce urine as if it were daytime, and your bladder fills up. And, like all the muscles in the body, the bladder also ages. It loses elasticity, retention capacity, and with even a small amount of urine, the urge becomes urgent. In other words, it's a vicious cycle. Add to that a phenomenon that many underestimate. During the day, especially if you sit or stand for long periods, fluids accumulate in your legs due to gravity. Those slightly swollen ankles aren't just fatigue, it's water trapped in the tissues. And when you lie down at night, this water returns to the bloodstream, passes through the kidneys, and ends up in the bladder. Do you see the picture? But there's another often overlooked factor: unbalanced hydration. Many people drink almost nothing during the day, and then compensate by drinking a lot in the evening. And of course, the body has to eliminate all that excess during your sleep. The good news is that there's a simple way to correct all of this. A natural, drug-free strategy that helps your body restore its rhythm, sleep soundly, and wake up with real energy. That's exactly what I'm going to show you now. How to adjust your hydration routine, your diet, and your evening habits to say goodbye to nocturia. Next, we'll see what the most frequent mistakes are that most people make without realizing it, and especially how to correct them in a simple and effective way, validated by science. Remember, everything I share here is for informational purposes only and does not replace medical advice. Now, let's look together at the most common mistakes that worsen nocturia without us realizing it. Some are so simple that we don't even think they could disrupt our sleep. The first mistake is not drinking enough water during the day. Many people think that drinking less reduces trips to the bathroom, but it's the opposite. When your body lacks water, your urine becomes more concentrated, more acidic, and irritates the lining of your bladder. As a result, it contracts more often, even when it's not full. A study from the University of India in Sweden, conducted on more than 900 adults, showed that people who drank less than 1.5 liters of water per day had a 30% increased risk of nocturnal enuresis simply because their urine was too concentrated. That's crazy, right? So paradoxically, drinking enough during the day helps you sleep better at night. The second mistake is believing that the problem comes from a small bladder. In reality, in the majority of cases, it's not the size of the bladder that's the problem, but the overproduction of urine during the night. And this overproduction is often linked to lifestyle habits, diet, hydration, hormones that can be corrected. The third mistake is consuming caffeine or alcohol in the evening. Oh yes, I know. The little glass of wine or the hot chocolate herbal tea before going to sleep, it's relaxing. But physiologically, it's a disaster. Alcohol inhibits a hormone called ADH, or anti-diuretic hormone, which normally reduces urine production during the night. As a result, your body produces more urine, your sleep becomes lighter, and you wake up several times. And caffeine is even worse. It's a stimulant and a natural diuretic. It acts on the kidneys to increase urine flow. Even if you say, "I drink coffee after dinner and I sleep well," your brain is not at all at rest. Studies have shown that caffeine remains active up to 6 hours after ingestion, so your body continues to be affected by it, even during your first hours of sleep. Another classic mistake is drinking too much liquid before going to bed. We all have this reflex. Taking your medication with a large glass of water or drinking a relaxing herbal tea before going to bed. But this liquid doesn't disappear immediately. It follows a long journey. Stomach, intestine, blood, kidney, then bladder. This process takes about 1h30 to 2 hours. That's why I always recommend to my patients what I call the sacred 2-hour zone. In the 2 hours before going to bed, avoid all drinks. If you are thirsty, take 1 or 2 sips, no more. And one last point that many forget: salt. Excess sodium in your diet. Prepared meals, processed meats, ready-made sauces promote water retention during the day. In the evening, your body tries to eliminate this excess by producing more urine. So, reducing salt also reduces nighttime awakenings. But be careful, it's not just about what you drink. There's also what you do before going to bed, and that's where a very simple but incredibly effective strategy comes in that few people know about. Next, I'll show you how to adjust your evening routine so that your body naturally eliminates excess fluid before nightfall, and how a simple action you can do every evening at home can improve your sleep as early as this week. Next, I'll explain the concrete and natural solutions to reduce nocturia and regain continuous sleep. So, let's see now how to take concrete action to stop getting up at night. No need for medication or complicated techniques, just a few adjustments to your daily routine that you can start tonight. The first pillar is intelligent hydration. Drinking water, yes, but at the right time. The majority of your consumption should be before 4 p.m. Ideally, 70 to 80% of your daily water intake should be drunk in the first part of the day. Why? Because your body then has time to eliminate the excess before you go to bed, and you will thus avoid that famous overflow that fills your bladder during the night. Start in the morning. As soon as you wake up, drink a large glass of water. Your body is coming out of about 7 to 8 hours of fluid fasting, and it needs to rehydrate to restart your metabolism. Then, always keep a bottle nearby and drink regularly in small sips. No need to force yourself, but never let thirst set in. After 4 p.m., gradually slow down. Drink more slowly and in smaller quantities. And in the 2 hours before bedtime, apply the famous liquid fasting rule. No drinks, except in case of absolute necessity. A small sip is more than enough, and above all, just before going to sleep, always completely empty your bladder. This seemingly insignificant gesture prevents even the slightest accumulation of urine from waking you up in the middle of the night. The second pillar is managing salt and irritating foods. Salt attracts water. It's a biological law. The more sodium you consume, the more water your body retains, which it will then have to eliminate, often at night. So reduce added salt, limit ultra-processed foods, cured meats, industrial soups, very salty cheeses, and be careful with overly spicy dishes. Pepper, chili peppers, and hot sauces can irritate the bladder wall and give you that frequent urge to urinate. The third pillar is posture before bedtime. This is where science meets simplicity. Remember what I told you. During the day, fluids accumulate in the legs due to gravity. And when you lie down, all that fluid rises, passes through the kidneys, and ends up in the bladder. But you can, Anticipate this process. How? By elevating your legs about 30 minutes before going to bed. Get comfortable, lie down on the sofa, and place 1 or 2 pillows under your calves, or rest your legs on a chair while you read or watch TV. This simple action promotes venous and lymphatic return, reduces leg swelling, and most importantly, allows your body to eliminate excess water before you go to bed. The result? Less urine produced during the night and a deeper sleep. And finally, the last pillar is regularity. Your body loves routines. Try to go to bed and wake up at regular times, even on weekends. Your biological clock then synchronizes the secretion of hormones, including vasopressin, that famous hormone that reduces nighttime urine production, and over time, your body naturally regains its balance. Several of my patients have told me that by applying these 4 principles for only 10 days, they had already noticed a difference. Fewer nighttime urges, entire nights without waking up, and above all, morning energy they hadn't felt in a long time. But there's one last aspect that we often overlook, and it's perhaps the most important. It's no longer just about hydration or posture, but about what nocturia reveals about your body. Because sometimes this symptom is a reflection of a deeper imbalance. Next, I'll explain the hidden signals that nocturia can send about your metabolism, your heart, or even your brain. And especially when it's time to consult a doctor, what I'm going to tell you next could allow you to prevent serious complications that many people are still unaware of. You know, nocturia, the need to get up at night to urinate, is not just a question of bladder or hydration. It's sometimes a profound message from your body, a signal that you need to listen to. When it becomes frequent, it can be a symptom of a metabolic imbalance. For example, excess sugar in the blood. Yes, diabetes, especially when it hasn't yet been diagnosed, can manifest itself as a more frequent urge to urinate, even at night. Why? Because excess glucose attracts water into the kidneys and increases urine production. There's also the heart. When cardiac function is weakened, the body accumulates fluid during the day, and at night, in a lying position, this excess fluid returns to the circulation, stimulating the kidneys. As a result, you spend the night going to the bathroom, sometimes a sign of early heart failure. Studies conducted in Australia on more than 2,000 patients showed that 1 in 3 people with unexplained chronic nocturia actually suffered from a latent cardiovascular disorder. That's significant. And then there are hormonal disorders, menopause in women, prostate enlargement in men, or even certain diuretic medications taken too late in the day. That's why if you get up more than twice a night for several weeks, despite a healthy lifestyle, it's essential to talk to your doctor because this seemingly trivial symptom can reveal much more than a simple need for water. But the good news is that you already have a lot of power over your sleep. By adjusting your hydration, limiting fluids, respecting the sacred 2-hour window without drinks, and elevating your legs before going to bed, you send a clear message to your body. It's time to sleep, to truly recover. And believe me, deep, continuous, restorative sleep isn't a luxury, it's a natural therapy. It's the time when your brain cleanses itself of waste, when your heart slows down, and when your immune system regenerates. Every full night's sleep you get is one more step towards a stronger body, a clearer mind, and a longer life. So, if this video has helped you better understand what your body is trying to tell you, leave me a comment right below. Tell me how many times you wake up at night and, above all, which strategy you're going to try first. I read every message personally because it's thanks to you and your feedback that I can create increasingly accurate and useful content. And if you want to go further, download the Smart Hydration Guide on the Next Age Health website. It will help you naturally rebalance your hydration cycle and your sleep. And above all, subscribe to the channel. Every week, I explain the science of healthy aging with concrete, research-backed tips so you can stay strong, sharp, and full of energy at any age. Because aging isn't about declining. It's about understanding your body and giving it the right signals. I'm Dr. Hillman, and I promise you, if you listen to your body, it will help you live better, longer, and with a real quality of life. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you very soon in a new video.